Hi everyone, I thought we could do something very different this week and I wanted to show you what's inside. Now, I have mentioned over the last few weeks that Featherstitch House is not just a YouTube channel, it's also a online shop and we have a range of products available, and I never really talk about this on YouTube, and I've been thinking quite a lot over the last little while about why that is. And I think, if I'm honest, I'm a little bit shy about it. I am quite an introverted person and I don't like to make a show of things, and unfortunately that means that I sometimes don't talk about the things that are actually really important to me. So I thought I would use this video to partly talk about how Featherstitch House got started and to show you one of our kits. So this is our old boxes. We're phasing these out for lots of reasons. We're going for much more simple packaging as we move forward, but this is one of our kits and I'm going to open it in a minute, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit of the story of how our shop got started and how Featherstitch House came into being. And it all started with this little pile of joy over here. So this was the starting point of Featherstitch House, and I'm just going to lay them out in order. You will notice that there are some gaps. So these are some letters that I made out of felt when my daughter was really tiny. I was at home, and when she was born, I have talked about this in another video, but I got really poorly after she was born. So she was about 12 weeks old, and gradually I kind of turned to stone and was diagnosed after a long old process with rheumatoid arthritis. And it was properly devastating, and I really couldn't do a whole heap when she was very small. And so I started using sewing as a way of getting some dexterity back and starting to kind of get myself better, help my mental health, and all that kind of stuff. And I started making her a little felt alphabet, and the idea was that as she grew up, she'd get used to letters and we could spell out some words and play with these. And I thought I would try and tie in some phonics and put on my letters things that began with that letter. So it was A for apple, and B for bee, and C for carrot. And my skills were very limited. They weren't very limited actually. I actually could do more than this, but I was struggling with dexterity and therefore struggling with confidence. And so I just used backstitch basically and some French knots to create some really simple phonic designs. And then I started getting a bit better, got a bit busier. She grew up a little bit, and I kind of parked this for quite a long time. So this was back in 2011, and I kind of got half of the alphabet done, put it in a box, forgot about it, never finished it, moved on to other things. I made her some bunting, and I was doing much more machine sewing because it was easier for me, and I kind of forgot all about this, and it was in my box of unfinished projects. And so when lockdown came, I opened up the box and discovered this alphabet that I'd never finished making. And so I set about redesigning, and I started with A, and my sewing skills had improved and my dexterity had improved. And so I redesigned my apple, and turned it into this apple, which I hope you'll agree is much nicer. And then I redesigned my letter B, and that was my new version. And then if I can find my letter C, my daisy turned into that, and then my egg turned into that. And as I was working through, I thought I'd redesign them all and remake them. And at this point, she was 9. So I think she was a bit beyond alphabet letters, but I just wanted to make it because it was fun and I was enjoying redesigning it. And as I started making it, Rick, my husband, said, I think this should be a kit. Maybe this is something that we should sell. And I was very reluctant to even entertain this possibility because it's not my bag at all. Never set out to be a business person. I was happily a teacher. But lockdown really made me worry about my future as a teacher because I was clinically vulnerable. I had to shield. And so I started taking his suggestion quite seriously and redesigned my alphabet and started filming a couple of videos for YouTube, and that's how I've got duplicates of some of these letters. If you go way back into the mists of time on this channel, you will find some early videos where I've got no voiceover. I think I've got A, B, C and D on there, and I gradually redesigned the whole alphabet. So I'm going to show you what the new alphabet looks like. So this is my little bag. This is my sample set that I take to shows, and we have them out on display. Let's see if I can get them all in frame. So these are my newly designed versions, and I have got the whole alphabet here. So that's the newly designed alphabet, and I started investigating how I would go about putting this together as a kit and worked out how to do it. So we created some instructions and we approached a friend of ours who is a website designer who created us a website with an online shop, and the idea of Featherstitch House was born, and this was our first ever product. We now sell this as a kit. We don't sell the PDF patterns only, it's a complete kit, and we ship all over the world. So no matter where you are, this kit can be yours. So I'm just going to clear these out of the way, and then I wanted to show you what comes in the kit. Just to show you, this is our old style box. We're going to much more simple packaging with nicer labels, and this is what you're likely to get if you buy from us now, but the contents are exactly the same. So if I open the box, I'll just show you the box. We put some quirky things on it, so it says what's inside. Open our box and we have our disclaimers on the lid, and then these are the contents. So I'm going to take out the very big bundle that you get inside, and we'll come to the booklet in a minute. So you do get a booklet. This is true of all our kits. I'll show you through that in a second. But we have these really nice booklets printed. They're on recycled paper. The boxes are made of recycled material as well, and it's an eco dye, so it's fully compostable, the box. All our packaging is. So I'll come to the booklet in a minute, but you get this nice hefty little bundle, and it's wrapped in tissue paper with a little recycled paper sticker. So we try and be as eco-conscious as we possibly can. Everything is bundled up in this little package, which is quite tricky because there's so much content in this kit. So you get a little card with all our contacts all our sort of social media contacts, and obviously we now have a YouTube channel, so these cards have been reprinted since our original batch of a lot. And this is what you'll see when you open your package. So first of all, you get a bag of filling. So there's 25 grams, 26 grams of filling in here, which allows 1 gram per letter, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I promise you there's enough there. It was all done quite mathematically. And this bag is compostable. It's made of cellulose, so you can stick it in the composter and it will be gone in 2 weeks. It will just break down. The filling is made out of recycled plastic bottles. So although the filling isn't compostable, I'm hoping that you won't be throwing what you make away. So it's made of recycled materials. It's super soft. It's really sort of pliable and squishy and works beautifully. So you get a nice big bag of filling. You actually get, I think it's 13 Anchor brand threads, which is more than enough to make the whole set. So you get your rainbow, and then you get a set of neutrals as well. So there's loads of threads, and we always give full skeins because the whole ethos of Featherstitch House is that we want you to stitch. So once you've made your kit, hopefully you'll have a good amount of thread left to start playing and experimenting with embroidery. So we get our 13 threads. We get a needle and a hook threader. Hook threaders have changed many people's lives. They don't break when you use them and can make threading your needle much easier. So we always put a hook threader and a size 7 John James embroidery needle in each kit. These are my preferred needles. I like a chunky needle. And then you get a piece of felt that's pre-cut to the right size, and you get 1 for each letter, with the exception of M, which is a wider letter. So you basically get your set of letters and they're all in order. So that one should be there. I've just picked them up randomly. So they're all in order. You just use them as you find them in the packaging. So you get the full set of felt. Let me move this tissue out of the way. More than enough felt to allow you some margin for error. 1 for each letter. And our felt, because I know I'll get questions about this, it is neither acrylic felt nor is it wool felt. So we started out with the intention of being as eco-conscious as we possibly could, and we also wanted to make it suitable for people that don't use animal products. So actually our felt is just like our filling, made from post-consumer plastic bottles. It behaves like wool felt. So if you've tried acrylic felt from your local craft shop and decided that you hate felt, can I recommend that you give this stuff a try, because it is not like acrylic felt. It's not super cheap. It cuts and behaves like wool felt. It embroiders. All of these are stitched on it. It embroiders like a dream. It's really robust, holds its shape. It takes ages to start bobbling, which all felt has a tendency to do that after a while. This takes ages to start bobbling, and I put it through some fairly rigorous testing before I was willing to use it. So that's the felt that's in the kit. So if you're put off by either it being wool or thinking that it's acrylic craft felt, it's neither, and you really ought to give this a try because it is fabulous stuff. So you get all of that, and you also get a little canvas pouch that you can embroider on with your spare threads, so that you can keep, or you can use it as a project bag in the short term, but when you've made your alphabet you can embroider something on it of your own design and use it to store all of your letters. So that's the basic kit. You also get some full-size templates that are on a separate sheet so that you don't have to cut up your booklet to get them. So you've got all of those printed and available to you, and that's got the patterns on it as well. So once you cut out your letter shapes, you can also then cut out the little decorations and use them as templates. So we've also got our full-size templates, and then we have our little booklet, and this booklet is massively detailed. It gives you some starter guides, so some sewing basics information, a little introduction, and then I give you some instructions on how to make a padded letter. You get a full stitch guide with diagrams, but I've also now got the YouTube channel that gives you lots of ideas and gives you lots of video tutorials, and then you get a sort of run through of each letter and some guidance on how to stitch it, and it's all colour coded to help you avoid mistakes with your stitching. So you get a guide to each letter in your booklet, and so that's what you get in your kit. So all of these are put together by me and Rick. We put all the kits together. We hand cut all the felt, we hand pack all of the threads, and we make sure that you are going to have the best possible experience. So all you need to add to this kit is a pair of embroidery scissors, a pair of paper scissors, and I would recommend a heat erase pen. So I use Pilot friction pens, except for my white. I've taken a black pen body and I've used a white heat erase refill that is the right size. So you just have to make sure you get the right length of refill, and that is basically it. So pair of paper scissors, pair of embroidery scissors, and a marking tool. So that's our alphabet kit, and it allows you to make that super cute alphabet designed with phonics in mind. So not all of them are perfect. I is for ice cream. I think I went for first person rather than I, because why wouldn't you have an ice cream? So most of them work really well, and as an English teacher I was really mindful of using the letter sound. So they're great for kids who are learning letters. They are lovely toys. These are all the threads and all the felts are child safe, and so they're great presents for mums to be or grandparents to be. They are a lovely thing to make, and we've had people that have bought the kit with the intention of turning these into key rings for family members. We've had people who wanted to make name garlands for their kids, and once you've got the kit and the patterns, you can make this in as many different ways, as many times as you like. So these are available in our online shop. The link is below, and if you sign up to our newsletter, you will get immediately an email with a discount code in it that gives you a percentage off the total bill. Do check out the website, have a look at what's available, and maybe once a month I'll show you one of our kits so that you can see the sorts of things that I do when I'm not making YouTube videos. So I hope you have enjoyed having a look at the first ever kit that Featherstitch House produced. Do check it out online, and if you'd like to buy one of them, I would be absolutely delighted. But have a great week making whatever you are making at the moment. I'll link to one of the alphabet videos up here, and I'll put another sewing inspiration video down here for you to get stitching. So have a great week, and I will see you very soon. Bye!